Well, the clock is ticking. If Congress doesn't act within the next 9 days, environmentalists fear developers will be able to grab up privately owned land adjacent to some national parks. For the last 50 years, oil and gas companies have had an agreement with the United States.
In return for being able to perform offshore drilling, the companies put money into the Land and Water Conservation Fund. This money is then used to purchase private land and expand the parks, along with paying for park maintenance. Congress has yet to vote on whether or not they will allocate any of the Conservation Fund money for use in the national parks. Stephanie Fraterking has the story.
It would almost be criminal, in my opinion, to not pass legislation to keep this open.
Every year, thousands of visitors come to national parks to admire their majesty and to take time to appreciate nature.
We didn't put it here, and it should be shared, and it should be maintained and kept up.
But the funding that keeps these parks alive is in jeopardy.
43% of our national park sites that still have privately owned land inside the park boundaries, that privately owned land will remain private forever, and that means it'll be at risk for development forever.
Aaron Weiss with the environmental watchdog group Center for Western Priorities hopes to protect these national parks from harmful development.
In the case of Petrified Forest National Park, you have more than 20,000 acres still privately owned. In there, the risk isn't so much trophy homes, it's potash mining. There's a huge supply of potash in and around Petrified Forest, and if that land isn't protected permanently using the Land and Water Conservation Fund, that land is at risk of potash mines being built inside our national park. So unless Congress acts, that money, and that ends up being a pot of about $900 million every year, that money goes away. The Land and Water Conservation Fund is not funded with any taxpayer dollars. All of the money comes from offshore oil and gas drilling, so taxpayers, it doesn't affect them at all.
With NAZ Today, I'm Stephanie Fraterking.